Ever wonder who the hell's hijacked your relationship? Yeah, me too. Story time. So, essentially, my husband and I went from trauma bond to twin flames in a very short amount of time. From an outsider's perspective, we should have split as soon as we got together. We were each other's personal heaven and personal hells. And the way this played out was he became everything that I thought I escaped as a child, and I became everything he thought he had escaped as a child. And it didn't start this way. It never does. That's not the design of the relationship. Unsure why this design is what it is, but it is what it is. So let's forget about trying to redesign the design and just fix it already, right? So when two people come into a relationship, all of a sudden, all of their unresolved shit comes to the surface. Now, it's super easy to attach the other person to all of the shit that we're seeing that we don't like. And sometimes it is the other person. But more times than not, they're showing us through our own perceptions and projections what needs to heal inside. You see everything coming to us from the outside world as a reflection of what happened in here. Now, we went from, what did I say? Trauma bond to, I was going to say, wound mate to soulmate very quickly. And we did this by cleaning up everything that was shown to us from the other. There were boundaries that had to be set. There were needs that had to be discussed. There were decisions that had to be made while letting the other person off the hook. And ultimately, we each had to let the other show up the way the other was going to show up, period. And allow it to happen. So it was the ultimate exercise of putting self first as far as healing and allowing the other person the freedom to show up the way they wanted. And there were, so anyway, this is one of the most difficult and most powerful, sorry. Okay, let me start over. Healing a broken relationship while in it is one of the hardest things you will ever do. And it is also one of the most powerful things that can ever be done. Which is why when you see those power couples that are inseparable, sorry, I keep getting like notifications and it's annoying me. When you see that power couple that is just on fire and you can tell there's not a rift between them. They're not faking it. It's real and it's beautiful. That didn't start that way. They went through this process, and I'm going to go through this process at my next event live. It's called Who's Hijacked My Relationship? I felt like this my whole life. So did my husband. We looked trauma in the face from our childhood and healed it while in relationship, and we couldn't be happier. All the things I'm going to stop there and tell you, I'm going to walk you through this process that very few people pull off, but once you do, it's beautiful. And if you're not in a relationship, what will happen is you will by default pull that person to you who is meant for you. And if you don't want a relationship, what will happen is you get to see what's being mirrored back to you from everyone you encounter so that you can have a better relationship with yourself. So all relationships start with self. And my husband said one day, he said, he was talking to a friend and he said, look, if your money's not good, your relationship's not good. And this is why so many people live unfulfilled lives, because they fail to do the work the right way. They can be trying to do the work and it just not work. There's a very precise way to do this. So register for my event. Go find me on Facebook. I'm wondering if I can drop the event link here. But either way, get registered for that event. It's going to be epic. It's free. Not sure how much longer it's going to be free. And no replays. Live only. I'm keeping the energy high. I'm delivering high quality. The last event I did, I was told this should have been worth $1,000. I learned more here than my whole 4-year degree. And this was like 2 years of therapy in 2 hours. So it's going to be epic. Get registered. Oh, like and share and subscribe. Feel free to share this with anyone going through the relationship drama or who wants to rectify their situation with themselves or others. It's going to be great.